Hello and welcome to the Remarketing for Search video. Today we'll be talking about how Remarketing for Search works and how to use it. So what is Remarketing for Search? Well, Remarketing for Search allows you to remarket to previous website visitors via the search network, as opposed to the display network that we've spoken about previously. So this is people actively searching still on Google, they're typing in keywords, and we are able to run remarketing to those people via the use of text ads. So this means that you can tailor your targeting based on a deeper level of insight. So you already know that this person has come to your website and they have shown an interest in a particular service or product, and this information means you can now be a bit more generic in your use of search terms, but only to those previous website visitors, to the extent that if you use such generic terms to an audience that hadn't already been to your website, they would be unlikely to have worked. But because you have that deeper level of insight, these generic keywords can now be used. So for example, if you sold running shoes, or you had a running shoes page on your website with a remarketing list targeting those people, you could potentially show up for generic keywords such as London Marathon or running clubs, as an example. Keywords that you probably wouldn't have wanted to appear for before, but now because you know that that person has been looking at running shoes and they may be looking to enter the London Marathon, or they're doing their research, wouldn't it be great if you showed them an ad saying, preparing for the London Marathon, ? Get your running shoes here. So these keywords now have the potential to work because we already know that they are interested in running shoes. Another way of using remarketing for search would be to bid a bit more on keywords that potentially were a little bit loose before. So you may have had some success with them, but it was a little bit inconsistent. So the keyword running wear, as an example, you may want to increase your bids, but only for those people that have been to the running shoes page. So again, you're using your knowledge of what they have looked at in the past in order to target a very good prospect. You can also exclude certain lists from your targeting, so those people who have already purchased, as an example, because we're not going to be wanting to promote the running shoes to those who have already bought them. So to set up remarketing for search, we want to go to create a new campaign. We want to select search network only and all features. We select a daily budget, location, device or scheduling options, and press save. Now with most remarketing lists, unless you want to appear to a very local audience, I would normally try to reduce the number of filtering options used, simply because you're targeting pretty good prospects here and you want to leave it as open as possible. You then want to create the text ad and add the keywords that you wish to run for those who have previously been to your website. Once you've created your first ad group, you want to go to the Audiences tab and then plus remarketing. From the ad targeting drop down, select interests and remarketing, then choose the appropriate remarketing list, then select target and bid. The target and bid option ensures your keywords only appear to those who are on your remarketing list, making your return on investment from this targeting much easier to track. The alternative option, which is bid only, would still allow others to see your keywords that aren't on your remarketing list, so it would be less targeted. Okay, let's go over to Google for a live example. Okay, so we're now over in AdWords and we're going to add search remarketing to a client account. So we first want to go to plus campaign, search network only. Want to go to all features. Put in the campaign name. I won't select any additional filtering options because I want to appear to everyone that's been on this particular list. I'll then save and continue. Now this particular client doesn't have an awful lot of traffic going to particular pages of his website, so he is going to want to run some generic remarketing to start with. Now this particular client is in the tennis court construction and maintenance business, so we will want to appear for some more generic tennis court related keywords. So if I write the ad, I'll now put in some of the more generic keywords that we may have strayed away from before. So tennis court, for instance, could have been used by anyone looking for a local tennis court to go and actually play tennis. But because these people have already been on his website and we know that they have been looking into services to construct or maintain their own tennis court, we can now bid on those more generic keywords more freely. We then go to Save Ad Group. And then at the top here we want to go to Audiences. We go to Ad Targeting, Interests and Remarketing. Then we load the list that we want to use. Now here we want to go to Target and Bid, because we only want these ads to appear to people that have previously been to his website. Now we've only used a couple of keywords for this particular ad group. You may of course want to use more for yours, but either way you're going to want to ensure that the return on investment from this particular campaign is easily trackable, and therefore you should use Target and Bid. You can also add exclusions as well. So going back to the running shoes example, if we had a list of people that have completed a purchase, then we could add that remarketing list there, so we're not targeting people that have already bought their running shoes. And you can add these exclusions either at ad group level or at campaign level as well. You then click Save, and it's now created. You'll see here that our list is too small to target for Google search, and that's because there's less than 1,000 people on this particular list, so we're going to need to build that up before these ads start firing. Now as your various lists grow, you can add different ad groups within your Remarketing for Search campaigns, or you may wish to split them out into separate campaigns targeting people who have been to certain areas of your website. It's really going to come down to traffic levels at this point, and as always you're going to want to make your structure of your account as granular as possible. So if you split it up into carefully thought through campaigns and ad groups where you can attribute budget accordingly, then that's the best thing to do. Okay, so that's how we set up Remarketing for Search.